A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Green.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy. Tank Spencer and Jeremy Green with you. It is a Monday morning. It is a super wild card weekend recap.
God, he is so insufferable. You beat the worst playoff team in the history of the NFL, and all of a sudden, Super Bowl bound.
That's right, baby. Hosting the Super Bowl 3 weeks away.
Oh, you're going to host it. You're just not going to be in it.
We'll have all the recaps for you this morning of the wild card weekend and all of the ancillary storylines surrounding it. We are live from the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. Yes, it was great. It was great to see your team finally win a playoff game. It's been 17 damn years. As I was standing there watching the final seconds of the game going, you know, guys, I think this is the first time we've won a playoff game since the Super Bowl. And sure enough, they threw the stat up on the screen. It felt good. I understand where Browns fans are coming from today.
Oh, God. Browns fans. That is the most insufferable game. You know, if I lived in a city like Cleveland, I would probably be this wrapped up into one shitty win, too.
Oh, yeah. It's very
I'm already tired of the Baker Mayfield is a legitimate quarterback. Oh, really? So the opposing quarterback turns the ball over, I don't know, a billion times, and you're like, that's good for Baker.
Yeah. Look, see, Baker's better than old ass Ben Roethlisberger. Oh, it was so painful to watch that game last night because I'm really wanting the Steelers to do well for my wife because she's a Steelers fan.
I like how you put that in quotation marks.
I put the quotations around it because if you don't, I've told this story many times on the radio. I don't know that I've ever told it on this show, but she claims she's a Steelers fan, but she never watches any of the games. She loved Troy Polamalu's hair back in the day, and that's why she's a Steelers fan. So I'm trying to get her all jazzed up for the game, like, hey, you know, this could be Ben's last win. You know, it is not looking good. But I think they can win today. And no. 14 seconds into the ball game, Marquise Pouncey throws the ball over Ben Roethlisberger's head. The Cleveland Browns score a touchdown, and she looks at the screen and goes, "Oh, come on, Pouncey." His name is Pouncey. Oh, okay. And then I think that's when she gave up on the game.
Yeah, my wife is actually a Steelers fan, and it was very uncomfortable in my house for a long period of time last night.
Yeah, she's a Steelers fan that actually cares about that.
I got angrier at her team than I've gotten at my team all year long. Well, except when we, beat the Rams. I was pretty animated at that point.
Yeah, pretty mad about that. 48-37, the final score. Cleveland Browns beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Did not see that coming. Of course, how can you foresee 5 turnovers for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Oh, gosh, Big Ben looked awful. Until he didn't. And he threw for 501 yards and threw 4 touchdowns after,
he was terrible.
After the
he was
4
terrible.
interceptions.
I don't care if he threw for 5,000 yards. He was awful.
Becoming the first quarterback, since long ago when Tom Brady lost the Super Bowl to the Philadelphia Eagles as a quarterback to throw for 500 yards in a playoff game and lose.
I will be the first to officially say this. You have seen the last of Ben Roethlisberger in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform.
I believe so.
There's just no way. You can't pay that $41 million.
Right.
You can't do it.
Right.
So you have to swallow the frog. I have and my tons of fun partner over here will verify. I have long said this is the place that makes the most sense for Sam Darnold.
Yes.
That is a way to get Juju Smith-Schuster back if you want him, which I don't know if you do or not.
I don't want him. Stop talking.
Stop dancing.
Stop
You're down
talking.
$1 billion in the fourth quarter. Stop dancing.
Juju Smith-Schuster just can't stop. He does the damn little, what is it?
Corvette.
They kept saying Corvette at me.
He keeps doing the little dance, and then he says the Browns is the Browns, and that just becomes...
First of all, it's the Browns are the Browns. That's the thing that annoyed me the most about that is I kept hearing that quote exactly that way.
Yeah.
But stop dancing. Like, I don't give a shit. You can dance all you want to when you're winning. Now, if you're losing, now that is really annoying.
Yep. And everybody who said, "Oh, just wait, the Pittsburgh Steelers are overrated," they're all patting themselves on the back today because, yep, they were.
I mean, and cool. So you got that right. I mean, for the love of God, there were 12. What were they? 11-0, 12-0?
11-0.
11-0. I don't think anybody watched them the last 5 weeks and went, "Yeah, that's a Super Bowl contender."
No.
I mean, all right, let's say they had won yesterday. They would have gotten smoked by the Bills.
Yep.
I mean, smoked. And I'll tell you who the biggest Steelers fans in the world were the Bills. I don't want to play that Ravens team. I want to play that team.
Right.
You give me that team. The Pittsburgh Corvettes. That's what I want. I do not want to deal with Baltimore.
Not going to happen, though. Now it's going to be the Cleveland Browns getting their asses kicked by the Kansas City Chiefs.
And I you know what? You Baker Mayfield people that, "Oh, see, I told you were wrong about Baker." Give me about a week. That's all I need.
How many yeah buts are there going to be, though? How many yeah buts can come with Baker Mayfield?
Fact or fiction, I could have been the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns last night and we'd have won.
Yes.
There you go. They won in spite of Baker Mayfield.
In spite of him? I didn't think he was that bad.
How many times did he have an interception go right through the hands of a defender that Chris Collinsworth said that could have been 6? Because I counted 4 of them.
Right.
All the Steelers had to do was catch.
Right.
That's it. They had one. I mean, when momentum had completely turned, and it was, like now this has become a game.
Yep.
They come out and go 3 and out, and Sean Nelson had one hit him in the numbers that he would have walked in. And now we're talking about a completely different ball game.
Yep.
But didn't happen. You know, sometimes luck does play in the games. But stop giving me this, look, Baker Mayfield won a playoff game. Yes, so did Tim fucking Tebow. And you know what? I feel about the same way about the 2 of them.
Wow.
I mean, really, what did Baker Mayfield do last night that you go, an average quarterback could not have done that? First of all, you were up 28-0 before he thrown his 6th pass.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a hell of a buffer. And then Alex Van Pelt, for some reason, demanded on continuing to throw the ball, which was stupid.
It was funny to me to just watch the Steelers melt away. This game is all about how the Steelers failed down the stretch rather than how the Cleveland Browns, changed history. Like they became just the fortunate benefactors of the Steelers just absolutely shitting the bed.
Well, here's the thing, and I think this needs to be legitimately said today. I have long said Mike Tomlin is a good coach, and he's been a coach in this league a long time, and good for him. He's been a coach, same team, all this shit. He's one of the longest tenured coaches in the league. Mm-hmm. It's time for him to go.
Ooh.
You got annihilated last night by a special teams coach.
Yep.
I mean, how many god-awful decisions did he make last night?
Quite a few.
First play of the 4th quarter. You're down 2 scores. Momentum's completely in your path. Right. It's 4th and 1, and you punt.
Yep.
And your grand scheme here is we're going to send a motion guy on the punt team and see if they jump offside.
Yep.
You do realize the head coach is a special teams coach, right?
Right.
Like you get that. He told all 11 of them, just don't jump.
Right.
They're gonna punt this. This is not they're not. They will take the delay game. Just don't jump. That's all you have to do.
Right.
And they didn't. And you punted it, and you lost, and you deserved it.
Yep. I don't understand that. It happened twice yesterday. Mike Vrabel had this. Mike Vrabel had the same thing in his game. Tennessee Titans are on a 4th and 2. At the 50-yard line, 40-yard line, somewhere in there. And no, we'll just punt it away.
Yeah.
We'll just, okay. You realize it's playoff time. You realize it's go time, right? Like season ends if you don't pull this off. Normally I will go, yeah, I'll bend to the coach, and he's not really locked into the analytics, maybe, but
here's the thing.
4th and 2, you gotta go for it.
Well, here's the thing. They had already made a god-awful stupid decision. You score the touchdown, you kick PAT. And Chris Collins went, well, I guess they read the chart. No, you go for 2, stupid. The analytics chart's not that hard to find. You can literally Google it.
Right.
I mean, and Tomlin just makes and then I guess I never realized there's a lot of animosity among Steelers fans with Mike Tomlin. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I always just thought, he's been in the league forever, won a Super Bowl, good coach. Steelers fans don't feel that way.
No,
and I'll be honest with you, after last night, I don't either.
No, they believe that they could have won more Super Bowls had it not been for Mike Tomlin and questionable coaching decisions. I think Mike Tomlin's a great coach.
I'm less convinced of that after last night. Last night was not a great coaching performance. First of all, you can't be down 28-0 in a playoff game and be prepared. Yeah, you just can't. It doesn't work that way. Right. I get it. Marquise Pouncey has a bad snap on the front. I get that. The fact that you can't tackle to save your life, the Kareem Hunt touchdown, the second rushing touchdown, you're bottled up on the sideline, and it looks like every Steeler just stops.
Yep.
They just stop dead in their tracks and watch him run right by them.
It was evident to me on the second touchdown of the game, that 40-yard pass to Jarvis Landry, where it just seemed like he just effortlessly kind of jogged into the end zone.
And by the way,
Steelers were falling out left and right, which was fucking weird because this comes immediately after we just saw Mike Pouncey or Marquise. Which one is it? Is it Marquise? Which one? Marquise. Marquise, bopped the ball over Ben Roethlisberger's head, and Ben and James Conner just stared at it.
Yeah.
They were like, I don't know is that an incomplete pass? Is this like a punt? We don't want to touch it before it rolls to the goal line.
They pulled a Cam.
There are very few times I've ever looked at a
happened?
team and gone, you were horribly ill prepared for a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
The Pittsburgh Steelers last night were one of them.
Yep.
And I got news for you. You can't be a good coach and be that poorly prepared in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, have you ever seen Bill do that? I think we all know.
Right.
I'm not necessarily the biggest Bill Belichick fan. But you ever seen Bill do that?
No. Never seen Bill do that. And I was trying to make excuses, not for James Conner, but for Ben Roethlisberger. Oh, he slipped. He couldn't reach the ball because he slipped.
Yeah.
You go back and look at that replay again.
Yeah.
He didn't really slip.
Very reminiscent of Cam Newton in the Super Bowl.
Ben's smarter than that. And that's the thing that kills me, and that's the thing that leads me to believe those tears that we saw after the game, those were real. I don't think
I'm out.
I think this is done.
I am no longer the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers tears.
Yep.
That's what I saw.
Yep.
I think it's a retirement cry. I don't think he wants.
Well, all right. So let's be really honest. All right. So Pittsburgh moves on from Ben. Who in the world would sign up for that? Who's
Ben
going to give
Roethlisberger?
him $30 million for what we saw last night?
Nobody.
There's not a team out there. Yeah, this is a retirement. And I got news for you. This is how a lot of this ends. It just is. There's not a lot of guys that go out, they ride off into the sunset like Elway and Peyton did.
Yep.
There's not many of those. Most of them end this way. Ben, be really good if you would retire so we don't have to cut you.
Yeah.
That would be phenomenal.
Yep.
So you can be Mr. Steeler and come back and be, as beloved as you'll ever be because you've had some issues. But
Steelers ended the season 1-5 in their last 6 games, and now the Browns get to go play the Kansas City Chiefs. Can't wait to see Baker Mayfield this week. I'm just really looking forward to it because Baker Mayfield now has, you're going to look across that field and you're going to see what a real quarterback looks like. And we're all
you're not going to be up
notice-
28-0 on Pat, I promise you.
Yeah. We're all gonna notice pretty quickly the deficiencies in Baker Mayfield's game. I feel bad for Ben, but I feel really good for Cleveland Browns fans. You needed that.
Yeah.
You gotta every now and then you gotta have one of those. Hey, we can believe in our team again. And unfortunately, that comes in the shape of Baker Mayfield.
Oh, he's there forever.
He's there forever now.
Yep.
They'll never get rid of him. I'm convinced.
And they're gonna have to re-sign him for.
There will be a friggin' uprising in Cleveland if they don't retain Baker Mayfield. And unfortunately for Kevin Stefanski, I don't think that's a position that he wanted to be in.
No.
But this is also, but wait, I think he's also learned I can make this work.
Kevin Stefanski's smart as hell. Just throwing that out there. I mean, you really want somebody to say, hey, this is the reason the Browns won a playoff game. Kevin Stefanski all day. I don't care that he wasn't in the stadium. This was Kevin Stefanski's. This was his scheme. This was his everything.
Right.
He's the reason you're here. Baker Mayfield is a happy accident.
Yeah, I mean, and they got to move forward. They got to try to keep both Chubb and Hunt. I don't know what their contracts look like, but
I don't know that they can keep both of them.
But it's
But I don't know. But I thought the same thing going into the last offseason.
Yeah.
Was Kareem Hunt was on the short deal. You know, he only played like 6 games.
I think they actually signed him for a couple-year deal. If I'm not mistaken.
I didn't think that they were going to be bringing him back into the fold. I don't know how you hang on to him. Jeremy brought up this subject the
Hunt
other
and
day.
Chubb are both signed through next year.
Yeah. Jeremy brought up this subject the other day of, guys that we would like to see in different places. And I think Kareem Hunt's high on that list for me.
Well,
of guys that I would like to see go play somewhere else and be the guy rather than being the tandem the duo between him and
he's
Chubb.
the number 1 running back in this league.
I agree with that. I mean, and here's the thing: the Browns have all the talent in the world, and you know how much that's going to matter next week? 0-0. I mean, but this is the difference between the haves and the have-nots in the NFL.
Right.
And people want to shoehorn the Browns into, they're a contender. No, you're going to see this week. No, they're not. There are 3 contenders in the AFC. Because that Baltimore Ravens team that played Tennessee yesterday, they can be a contender. They can't win a Super Bowl. You cannot win a Super Bowl playing the way they played yesterday.
Right.
Just can't do it. Because if you get shut down, you do not have another alternative.
Yep.
Right.
However, I'm going to say this, and it probably won't be popular, and it is what it is. The Browns won last night in spite of Baker Mayfield. He had 0 to do with it. 0. This was Nick Chubb, this was the defense, and this was the Steelers just completely imploding. But if you feel real warm and fuzzy about Baker, cool. You get to verify that literally 1 week from yesterday.
Right.
Because he's going to play against the best quarterback in the league, and you're going to see the difference between an all-pro quarterback and me.
Well, let's talk about that Ravens Titans game.
Okay.
Ravens 20-13 over the Tennessee Titans. Derrick Henry. Oh, wow. That Ravens defense just did a number on Derrick Henry. They were able to keep him contained, and he had, what was it?
18 carries.
18 carries, 40 yards.
Ooh.
And let's be really honest. Can we officially say Jeremy was right? It's too easy to stop him.
Yeah.
He kills bad teams. This is what I've been trying to say all year. And I get more Derrick Henry bullshit than I get about any player not named Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson. Derrick Henry's 3. This is what I've been trying to tell you. Oh, he runs over defenders. Yeah, they're corners. You know he doesn't run over? Calais Campbell. He never does it. You want to know how to stop Derrick Henry? It's not that hard. Keep him between the tackles. That's it. Because he can't do it. Because he's a 6'3", 240-pound running back that runs like he's half his size.
Yep.
Then he gets out into space, and he's a bully on smaller people. He's that bully from high school that beat the hell out of every small kid. And as soon as they saw somebody like me, they went, nope, don't want to. Don't want to play with that guy. That guy might be able to rock my brain.
Right.
And that's Derrick Henry.
Yep.
And he can't catch, and he can't stretch the defense. And all they did was take Judon and take Yannick Ngakoue and seal the edge. That's it. That's all you have to do. You keep him from busting outside and using that speed and gaining momentum and getting out on the edge to people that are smaller than him, and he is very stoppable. And you know what happens when you stop Derrick Henry? Ryan Tannehill, it turns midnight and his carriage turns into a pumpkin because he's not that good. He's not a $30 million a year quarterback. I've tried to tell people this, and nobody wants to listen to me.
No.
And the bad thing is Arthur Smith had the perfect game plan, and it lasted 1 quarter.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Did you watch any of the super cast on ESPN? First of all, phenomenal. They should do it with every game. I want to watch every game that way. It was Rex Ryan and Keyshawn Johnson, Teddy Bruschi, and Matt Hasselbeck just analyzing every part of the game. And sometimes you fall behind, and there's little plays that don't, some little 2-yard run. Yeah, they might not talk about that. They might still be talking about the previous play, and it'll pop up on the bottom like, oh, 2-yard run, whoop-de-doo. But you're seeing everything. You're seeing all 22 tape. You're seeing tape that you can't see anywhere else.
Right.
It was fantastic. So what the Titans came into this game, they had this plan of Marlon Humphrey's not as good as you think he is, and we're going to expose that. And so all they did was they took a tight end, they lined the tight end up on the outside, so Marlon Humphrey thought he was in the slot with A.J. Brown, because that's usually where he plays. Then they motioned in that tight end, and now Marlon Humphrey is out here all by his little lonesome. And A.J. Brown beat him like a kettle drum. And then they stopped doing it. And I have absolutely no idea why.
Yeah.
It never stopped working, but they stopped doing it. And then they had to, we got to give Derrick Henry touches. Yeah. Oh, cool. Now you're behind the chains and you're depending on Ryan Tannehill to bring you back. Sweet. That'll work.
But it's a one-score game. You feel comfortable in still doing that.
No,
you don't. You don't.
You do what works. In this league, you do what works. And you had found something that was infallible. Marlon Humphrey, literally, they could have thrown at A.J. Brown 25 times. It wouldn't have mattered. Okay, bring that safety over because I got Corey Davis and Johnny Smith on the other side.
Right.
You know, I'm daring you to do that. I want you to do that. And credit to John Harbaugh. He said, nope, not doing it.
Yep.
Don Martindale and John Harbaugh said, you know what? We're not falling for it. We think you'll stop doing it. And they did.
You know, once you get up on the Ravens, they can't come back.
Well, that's the thing. These are two teams that can't come back. Right. Yeah, that was and I straight up told you, I had this game pegged. Mm-hmm. I thought Baltimore was going to destroy them.
Yep.
They didn't, but they were in control of this game. Did you ever think Tennessee was going to win this game?
No.
Outside of the first quarter?
Yeah,
no.
I mean, after the first quarter, once they started changing things up, I was like, oh, here we go. It's over.
I mean, Ryan Tannehill was pretty bad. Let's be really honest. Mm-hmm. He was pretty bad.
He was indeed. Lamar Jackson, on the other hand, was pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
And you know what? I'm going to say something that I never thought I would say.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson is a good quarterback.
I think I actually heard the regurgitation.
It hurt him so bad to say that.
That hurt. I don't want to do it again. I won't do it again. But there's a big old but here.
Uh-huh.
He can't win a Super Bowl.
No.
You can't win a Super Bowl this way. You can't depend on your 185-pound quarterback to make plays like that. First of all, the rushing touchdown he had, one of the best runs I've ever seen. It won't get the hype that, Beastquake gets. That was one of the best runs I've ever seen in my life. Because the Titans had it dead to rights.
Uh-huh.
And it didn't matter. It didn't matter. One linebacker got out of his lane, Lamar saw it, and he was off to the friggin' races. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you know what that does? It makes teams... Buffalo, this week, it's a perfect example. Buffalo is very well positioned to beat this Baltimore team. Because they have Tre'Davious White that you can put on Marquise Brown. Who, by the way, if you've never heard Rex Ryan really get good and animated about Marquise Brown, you should watch it. It's phenomenal. Rex Ryan sounds like... I think Rex Ryan and I would be best friends. I'm convinced of that. If we ever meet one another, we will be best friends.
Mm-hmm. You'd probably be swingers as well.
I've thought that same thing.
We would not be swingers, you jackass. I mean, we have some of the same predilections from what I understand, but put your best foot forward. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Rex Ryan gets going about Marquise Brown like, God, fuck, I hate little receivers. Yeah. And then he realizes there's a camera on him like, just if he was 5 inches taller, he would have caught that.
Yeah.
I love it. I want to do games that way. We don't have the license to actually show games.
Right.
I want to do, and you know we might do this for the conference title games. Just me and you, commentary of the games. I'm not allowed to show the footage. I have to be so many seconds behind it. But damn, that would be fun. Because Rex Ryan sounded exactly like me. Right. And it was phenomenal.
So he was knocking him because he's too
short. Yeah. He's like, I just hate little receivers. They say he's $185. He's not $185. He weighs $160. And that's the reason he's a wuss going across the middle. And I'm just listening like, can anybody else hear this?
I know, right?
I love this. Let's do more of this.
I agree with you. I think the Bills are very well positioned, as you put it, to beat this Ravens team.
I agree with you.
I don't think it's going to be
but why? Either. All right, so you always comment that you watch games differently than I do.
Yep.
Why do you say Buffalo is so uniquely positioned to defend Lamar Jackson?
Because I see a defense in Buffalo that can probably contain him, although I said the same thing about Tennessee, which they had done a fantastic job of the previous 2 times they had played them. But I think they will be able to contain Lamar Jackson, and the Ravens, as you said, when they get down, they can't come back. And that's exactly what you have to do. See, that was kind of the recipe for disaster. That's what happened when Tennessee beat Baltimore the 2 previous times. Was they got out the leads, and the Ravens couldn't come back. How are you going to keep up? How are the Ravens and their 587 carries or throughout the season going to be able to keep up with the Buffalo Bills, who can just hit them in a moment's notice down the field?
All right, so his analysis, that is proof positive of we watch the games different.
Yep.
Because what he just said has absolutely nothing to do with why I think this team is uniquely positioned.
Of course.
So here's what the Bills can do that very few other teams can do. They could close the pocket with 4 guys.
Okay.
Oliver, all the guys up front, Jerry Hughes, they can close the pocket on you. Now, if you get to the second level, there's a whole lot of Jordan Poyer and Edmonds and Matt Milano and athletic linebackers that can hit you. And I'm telling you right now, Lamar, that fun little shit you did against Tennessee, try that against Buffalo. They will carry you out of there on a stretcher. I am telling you that right now. Because, first of all, the thing that drives me nuts about Lamar Jackson, he refuses to slide. It's almost like they've ingrained it in his head to never slide. If you do that against Buffalo, they may carry you out of there on a body bag. And I thought this the whole game against Tennessee. This is great against a real bad linebacking core, which the Titans have. You do this against the Bills, and it's going to end bad. Bad. And the one thing you have that's frightening, the Ravens have one weapon that's legitimately frightening, and he can't catch. So I'm going to throw Tre'Davious White on you and not think a second thing about it. Because Tre'Davious White will shut him down. Period. He will shut him down. He will be irrelevant. Stephen Tao said, look at the highlights the last time they played Buffalo. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, the Buffalo got shellacked by Tennessee, too. You really think that's how that would go again?
Same team? No.
Yeah, that Tennessee team beat the snot out of you twice.
Yep.
Didn't yesterday. You know why? Because people figure things out. And now with Tre'Davious White playing at the level he's playing at, and everything else on that defense, okay, keep telling me about what happened last time. It's not last time. This is now. This is in the playoffs. This is Josh Allen that knows he needs a win. Wind up against Pat Mahomes. This is a potential Super Bowl year.
Yep.
I'm just telling you, when you have guys like Leslie Frazier that have been in the league for 4 trillion years, the number one thing they're going to do is take away what it is you want to do. And that's Lamar. And they have the assets to do that. And I'm telling you right now, I am... Oh, yeah. He's talking about the linebackers for Buffalo. Oh, Lamar shook him. Okay. That's fine. This is one of those times that I'm...
Yeah.
This is one of those that I'm sitting back like, I'm not saying I know football better than you because I don't know who the hell knows.
Right.
You know what I do know? I know I've watched a shitload of all 22 on Buffalo. Let Lamar try that.
Gonna be fun.
Good luck.
And 6,000 Buffalo fans sounded like 30,000 fans. To be
Oh,
honest with you.
right.
I mean, it was crazy. Watching the game, like the sound. You could
There's
hear.
something different about Buffalo.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you. I don't know what happened. That team is different. Let's. All right. We weren't even really going to talk about Buffalo because it went, pretty much to the way we thought.
Well, I was gonna go to Buffalo because I wanted to ask you if you were disappointed that the margin of victory wasn't bigger. Because I think we thought it was going to be.
Let's be really honest. How, on a scale of 1 to 10, how well did Buffalo play Saturday? 1 being terrible, 10 being great.
Oh, 7.
You're drunk as fuck, actually. I was going to say, if you say over a 3, you're out of your fucking gourd. They were bad, and still won. That's what Super Bowl level teams can do.
Yeah.
I don't have to give you my best shot, and you were far from it. Josh Allen, he needed that win. And I'm really hoping that next week he comes back out and is the composed quarterback I saw at the end of the regular season. Because he looked nervous. He looked a little shook early. He missed some easy throws. And that's what young quarterbacks do in the playoffs. You know what tends to change that? Winning games.
Yeah.
The more times you do it, the more comfortable you seem to look. And I have this funny feeling that Josh Allen and the Bills are going to come out with their hair on fire this weekend.
I can see
Because
that.
I think you're going to hear a lot this weekend of, oh, this is the matchup Baltimore wanted. This is a slugfest game. This plays right into there. And Josh Allen's going to go, yeah, you remember the last time you said that? We kept the Dolphins out of the playoffs?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That guy's going to show back up. Because let's be really honest. Sean McDermott's a really good coach.
Yeah.
And Brian Daboll, I think, is a pretty decent offensive coordinator. I think he saw the same thing I saw. I think he saw the exact same thing I saw. Marlon Humphrey can get confused very easily. And you're going to have Marcus Peters on Stephon Diggs, and that's not a good thing. Marcus Peters gambles more than any cornerback in the NFL. Works out great. He winds up with a lot of interceptions. Gets burned a lot, too. And Stephon Diggs, how many receivers in the NFL would you take over Stephon Diggs right now?
He's unbelievably good.
I mean, honestly, I started thinking about it. I got into a discussion on social media about this over the weekend.
Yeah.
How many receivers right now, you're starting a team, how many receivers would you take over Stephon Diggs?
think
It's Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, and then it gets really
That's it.
tough.
That's it. For me,
There were a lot of people that said DK Metcalf.
DK
Oh, by the
Metcalf.
way, you remember the thing I said about DK Metcalf being real good this week?
Yeah.
yeah.
When it comes to DFS, you might want to listen to me because I tend to know shit because I watch a stupid amount of tape.
Right.
Seattle figured that out in the end of the second game.
Yeah.
Wait. All we have to do is motion him, and Jalen Ramsey won't go with him. And they figured it out. Hi, 2 touchdowns. That's fun.
Just wasn't enough.
Everybody was, DK Metcalf will be terrible this week. Well, my balance on DraftKings says he was pretty damn good.
The 2 touchdowns.
I got a lot of fun. You got to understand, I say egotistical shit like that mainly not for the people that watch this show every day. It's for the people that at me on Twitter and say, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Okay, cool. Let's play a head-to-head anytime you want to. I'm not that hard to find.
Right. Stephon Diggs, I think I would throw Michael Thomas in there when he's healthy.
I wouldn't.
think DK
I
Metcalf
wouldn't.
would be one.
I would not with Diggs. Diggs is unfriggin' believable.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to say, this is a guy that doesn't have, the physical gifts that DK Metcalf has. He's not 6'4". He's not 220 and runs a 4.3. That's not Stephon Diggs. You know what he does? He's Devontae Adams technically in a much less impressive body. Stephon Diggs is a dog.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, if I had to start a team right now, he's third best receiver in the NFL to me.
He's one hell of a route runner. It's
He's
unbelievable.
behind Adams and he's behind DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
Other than that, I struggle to find another one.
Really? Okay.
I do. I struggle to find another one. He's that good. And now I have this funny feeling you're going to see a lot of him in the slot this week. Call it a hunch.
All right. But the Bills take down the Colts. We all expected that was going to happen. I thought it would be a wider margin of victory for sure. But that didn't happen. Then the Rams took down the Seahawks 30-20. Russell Wilson did not look good
Oh,
in the parts of that
reminds
game
me.
that I saw.
That reminds me. I had to say something to Seattle Seahawks.
Oh,
fans.
God. Here we go.
Oh, all the shit I got about Seattle. You just don't understand. They're a Super Bowl contender. Okay. Yeah, your defense got carved up by John Wolford and Jared Goff, who looked like he might have just snapped his hospital bracelet right before he walked on the field.
Right. But
Your defense cannot be that bad in the playoffs. It is infallible through the last, 20 years of playoff football. You can't be that bad. And Jamal Adams, I do love. I love. Oh, Jamal Adams has a torn labrum and torn fingers and broken. He's got all these things are broken on Jamal Adams. He's such a gamer. No, he's a bitch. He's a little bitch, and he got what he got what he deserved. You whined and complained of they don't use me right in New York, and they'll use me so much better in Seattle, and I'm the best safety in the league. Cool. You know where I feel real good? With those 2 1s and that 3 we got for you.
Yeah.
I feel great about that because you were embarrassingly bad. And I love Jamal. He's actually not a bad guy. I got really sick of the mouth. I put Jamal Adams and Juju Smith-Schuster in very much the same boat.
Yeah.
I love your talent, but good God, your mouth drives me crazy.
Right.
Your mouth writes checks that your ass cannot cash.
100%.
Right. Cam Akers had a hell of a day as well in that ball game, and what did I tell you? I told you the Rams defense is going to show up, and they are going to make an impact in this game. And Aaron Donald was all over the place. The defense was making plays. The special teams were making plays. This is a really good football team, and I don't care who's their quarterback. I mean, to start out the playoffs.
Oh, here's the thing. You remember everything I said about the Browns?
Yeah.
Lather, rinse, repeat. They're gonna get smoked this week. And people will say, "Oh, they match up." Yeah, it's gonna be 5 degrees in Green Bay.
Right.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Right.
Good luck with that.
I think it's gonna be a good game. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout.
I have to say, I really didn't mean that about Jamal Adams. I like Jamal Adams as a guy, but I have to say the karma of how bad he was,
Right.
is it does kind of make me feel warm and fuzzy on the inside.
Just because he talked shit about
He
it.
was a great guy with the Jets, and then he did that. Number one, there's one thing with the Jets that you can't do, and that's talk to Manny Smith. There is one columnist in the New York area that the Jets have basically said, the hell with that guy, because he just makes shit up.
Right.
I mean, I have friends that are beat writers in New York that dude just makes shit up.
Right.
So as soon as things went sideways in New York, that's immediately who Jamal Adams ran to. And that was one of those things that nobody that's not a Jet fan, you didn't realize that was a dig. That was a dig trying to get put out of town.
Right.
And that's exactly what he did. And so for me, I love the talent. You have been god-awful. In Seattle, you've been terrible. And they gave up 2 1s and a 3 to get you, and that's, more power to them. But yeah, there's part of me when you jab my organization and you jab the fans and you jab all the things, there was a part of me that was like, you know what? It kind of made me feel warm and fuzzy to see sad Jamal on the sideline.
Right.
But I wish him the best going forward. This was a 1-year pokey poke for me.
Right. But with Jared Goff now back, what do you think about the Rams? I mean, you think they're going to just get dusted?
Killed.
Really?
Killed.
You don't think they'll be able to make any hay against the Packers defense?
No. Jared Goff outside in the winter.
Uh-huh.
That's all I need to say. I think the Packers are going to win this game convincingly. And I'll be honest with you. This is one of the things that we wanted to talk about. Who was impressive enough in Wild Card Weekend that you go, well, that changes how I feel about. Do you even have an answer to that? Is there any team that you saw that was not what you thought they would be, and they were better than you thought? We've been saying it's collision course. Chiefs, Bills.
Yep.
Packers. One of the old guys.
Somebody. Yeah. One of the old guys. I like that.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
And is anything different now?
Nothing's different now. I do feel a little bit different about
The Ravens.
the Browns. I mean, I do.
Really?
I get it. I get that the Pittsburgh Steelers were god awful, but here again, we said it couldn't happen, and it happened.
This is a team that lost to the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
So remember that.
The Jets.
And the Jets.
Pittsburgh didn't lose to the Jets.
Oh no.
We were talking about the Browns.
Oh no, I was talking about Pittsburgh.
Oh.
This is the team that lost to the Bengals.
Right.
Not that long ago.
Uh-huh.
Patrick Holt said had the Washington defense not laid down, they would have beaten Tampa Bay. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I will say this. There's a lot, if you're a Washington football team fan, there's a lot to be encouraged by.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have a lot of things to look at. I mean, and Taylor Heineke, I don't want to. The 24 hours of Taylor Heineke on social media was enough to make me hate the world, which I already pretty well do.
I didn't even hear this.
Oh, God,
I didn't even see that. I'm
That's
not
because
even
you don't
getting
live on
social
Twitter
media.
like I
No,
do.
fuck that. That's a dangerous place to live. Don't
Yeah,
ever live
Twitter
on
makes
Twitter.
my head hurt.
Don't
It
ever.
does. It makes my head hurt. Literally, in the course of a few hours after the game, somebody posts out that Heineke was a big Trump supporter and all these things. And all of the things he just did in this game get completely set aside. And now it's a bash Taylor Heineke on social media.
Stupid.
It's so,
Who gives a shit?
he played his damn heart out.
He had a
gave
great
up.
game. This is probably his 15 minutes of fame, and you screw it up talking about politics.
Yeah.
Get somewhere.
Yeah.
Go away fat boy.
Yeah, I was extremely impressed with the way Taylor Heineke
He
played.
really
and
good.
it also kind of made me think, I mean, is there a possibility they think about taking him into the next season?
Don't do that.
Not even for a
no.
second.
Is he a backup? Yes. And here's the thing. Ron Rivera knew Taylor Heineke better than anybody on planet Earth.
Yep.
Literally, he knew him better than anybody on planet Earth.
Yep.
And he looked at him and went, "You're my 3.
Yeah.
I want you here. You're good to have in the room. You're not my starter."
Oh man, I started to smell some air of Nick Foles in that though. When Taylor Heineke came out there and was, hitting the spot. Well, I mean, Todd Bowles gave him fucking wide ass windows to fucking goddamn throw through. Jesus, I am so sick and tired of Todd Bowles.
Well, he interviewed with the Lions, so maybe you're going to get your choice.
God, I hope he gets a job somewhere else, please, dear God.
Secret time?
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
He's gonna.
good. I'm glad. I want him to get a job somewhere else. 'Cause
Secret
I'm
time?
sick and tired of
I
seeing
think
that
he's
defense.
He's become a really hot name in the last 3 or 4 days.
Which is odd.
Look who you're talking to.
Yeah. I mean, he was the head coach of your Jets, I know. But, I mean, who can look at the defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and go, yeah, that secondary's got it figured out? I mean, that whole scheme that he's got is just awful. There are massive windows to open through. Over the middle is just have a field day. Just have a field day. Come on.
Does not.
God, and you almost lost to Taylor Heineke. It doesn't make you feel real good about your, the chances of
He's got
advancing
heart.
past this. in the
I
first
like
place.
what
Of
Patrick
course.
Holt said. He's got heart.
Of course.
I mean, and he had a gritty, gutsy performance.
Yeah.
It was really sad for me to see Alex Smith on the sideline.
Yeah.
This is proof positive that those Disney endings, the reason that people like me hate them, is because they don't happen.
They don't exist.
They don't
Sometimes
happen.
they happen.
Name one.
John Elway.
He was the most talented quarterback in the world for 20 years. That's not a Disney ending.
That was a Disney ending. He got to end out on top 2 Super Bowls.
And he was the best quarterback in the. I'm talking about the Rudies and the little
that's what you're
underdog.
talking about.
Yeah, that's
the guy
fun.
that comes back from his leg being completely smashed.
Yeah, that's fun. It's fun. It's warm and fuzzy. It makes me. It literally makes my insides all warm and.
He's dead inside. Don't mind him.
I am.
There's still hope out there for us.
I look. I'm. When it comes to sports, I'm black and white. X's and O's between the lines. It's there's no emotion to it. It's just it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's the beauty of sports is that it's simple, and I like that. It's the reason I talk about sports and not about politics,
Right.
because politics makes my head hurt
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
We saw a lot of streaks fall this week. None bigger though than the Cleveland Browns streak of playoff losses.
That's
And
okay.
the fact that they hadn't won at Heinz Field for 17 games straight. I didn't even know that
Yeah.
I did.
going into the game.
This is it's okay. Cleveland's going to start a new playoff losing streak next week.
And they're fine with
You get a
that.
week or a
That's
break.
the thing. We're fine with that. Give us the one and
They
we're
all
good.
they all do seem to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Every Browns fan I've heard from said, "We won this game. We're going to get smoked next week, but we won this one."
Yep.
Because
Because you know there's a ceiling to what your team can do.
This is a step in the right direction, they feel.
Right.
Oh, that playoff win means next year we're going to win it all.
Anything after this is gravy.
Yeah.
And hey, I'm right there with you, Browns fans. Because anything after this is gravy. If we can beat the Saints this week, awesome.
And we're going.
Probably not going to happen. But if it does, hell, that was more playoff games than we won in the last, 17 years. So we'll live with it. What?
I really didn't want to say this today,
Okay.
but I'm gonna.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna beat New Orleans.
Yes!
Boy!
Yes!
Holy smokes!
I like it.
He's on the Brady train.
Bring it on. So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
Oh, man, then you go to Green Bay and get the piss beat out of you. But
Oh, whatever.
yeah, I mean, you're gonna get dump trucked the week after that. But you can have this one.
We'll take it. We'll absolutely take it. For the first time in history, we are going to see Drew Brees and Tom Brady play in a playoff game. And we knew there was a great chance of this happening when Tom Brady came to the NFC South. You know, I'm a little surprised that it never happened before now. As good as both of these guys have had their teams, that they never wound up playing in a Super Bowl against each other. But here we are with a divisional playoff round matchup between two of the greatest to ever do it. The problem is they're 42 and 43 years old, and still one looks to me like he's slowing down very much. The other one, we know he's clinging to life, right? I mean, we know Tom Brady's on life support at this moment.
He looks
Damn,
better
he looks good doing it. Damn, he looks good doing
He looks
it.
better than Drew to me.
Absolutely. I don't think there's anybody that would argue that with you. Tom Brady looks like he is, Tom Brady. Hell, I mean, what can we say? He is the ageless wonder. And he's going to have a real good shot of getting. And I told you, the comfortability of that offense has been the one thing that has bothered me throughout the season. And the last 4 weeks have been incredible. And I agree with you. I was going to say it, and I was just waiting to have this big fight with him all week long about how, we're going down and we're not going to be able to beat the New Orleans Saints. No, I think we got a pretty good shot. I think this is a different team.
I look at the Saints offense and just think, it just doesn't ever look easy. Mm-hmm. Like, everything looks difficult for them. And you bring in Taysom Hill, and that never makes me feel warm and fuzzy.
Right.
And Michael Thomas looks like he's still hurt. Kamara is a game breaker. Everything else just looks disjointed. The defense is good.
Yep. Real good.
I will say, if Chicago Bears receivers could catch, yesterday would have been a slightly different game. Because Javon Wims dropped one in the end zone that, if it had been a snake, it would have bit him.
All right.
And then Anthony Miller gets kicked out for pretty.
By the way, I really didn't want to talk about this, but I'm gonna. Can we talk about that officiating crew in Chicago, New Orleans? Like, do you just like seeing yourself on television? How many fucking personal fouls were there in one game? 60? Like, listen, mini gun show. Mm-hmm. I understand that you're the original gun show's kid, but go away. If I know the official's name, that's a bad sign.
Right.
I really do believe that. There are a few officials that I know their name, and that's never good. Jerome Boger, I know his name. Scott Hockley, I know his name. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of others, I don't know their name. Mm-hmm. Or I do, and I have to think about it. If I don't have to think about it, it's bad.
Right.
And Scott Hockley is becoming like the antithesis of his father. His dad was the best official in the NFL. Ed Hockley was the best official in the NFL for 10 years.
Agreed.
100%.
And his son is pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Well, he's new. He's just,
He's not that new.
He's just learning.
He's not that new. He's revving a playoff game.
He's been like six years?
Something like that.
Something like that?
Yeah, you're revving a playoff game. So, yeah, you're not that new.
Right.
I feel like Joe Exotic. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about. I don't have to say it.
I have no idea what you're talking about. And I thought I got all of the Joe Exotic references.
I saw a tiger.
In a tiger cell, man.
Fact.
Nice.
So
It's just I'm just tired of it. Seemingly every year there's one playoff game that we have to talk about the officials.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for the love of God, just instruct these guys. Calm your tits, McGee.
Yeah.
Like, just before you start running guys, and nobody gives a rat's ass about you.
Yeah.
There is not one person that was watching that game last night going, God, I can't wait to watch the officials today. Nobody did that. And if we're talking about you, you're doing your job right. Officials are a lot like pilots. You never get off a Delta flight and go, God, that pilot was phenomenal.
Right.
Like, just everything went smooth. We landed like we were supposed to. It's all good. Because, that's your job.
Right.
You're expected to.
Right.
If you talk about a pilot or you talk about an official, it was probably a dicey scenario.
Yeah. Refs get shit in every game, but that one was egregious.
I will also say the fact that Cordero Patterson said "fuck" on Nickelodeon might be one of my favorite things that ever happened.
Did he really?
Oh yeah. Oh, you didn't see it?
I didn't see
Oh,
it.
it was phenomenal. Hockey Lee is rambling on incoherently about some call that he has made. And Cordero Patterson's from like, I don't know, here to the end of the table, and Hockey Lee's mic's on. And he goes, "What the fuck?" And the fuck was like exponentially louder than that. And you just hear, because the "what the" was real soft, and then you,
Right.
I'm watching this going, yay!
I know.
7-second delay.
The comments in our thread about the old man and the old bull and everything in our line at the bottom there. How much Metamucil?
How much Metamucil can one game have? This game will be sponsored by Ben Gay and Metamucil and Matlock and Perry Mason.
Oh my God!
And TB12 supplements. Get them today.
They got
Oh,
it.
good Lord.
Sponsored by Cialis. The Broken
Good
Head
God!
Bull.
Good God! Now you're doing free spots for Tommy touchdowns.
Why
really?
not? Why not? That's my quarterback, man.
Oh, good Lord!
That's my quarterback. That's right. I think I can't wait for it. I know it's all the cliches of it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. Yeah, it is. It's never happened to Tom Brady, and I got a good feeling that he's going to do his damnedest not to see it happen this time.
What time is this game at?
I haven't seen the schedule.
I don't know what time any of these games are. I should probably look that up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty big.
Because frankly, I didn't even get. By the end of last night, I was like, you know what? Like, this has been fun and all, but I'm footballed out. And then I woke up this morning and went, oh no, we got that thing tonight that we still have to talk
Yeah,
about.
the national championship tonight. All right, so we wound up with 6:40. It's over.
6:40 Sunday.
It's done. 6:40. That's early enough. Tommy doesn't have to.
Is it?
Yeah, because
Is it early enough?
yeah. I mean, he just proved that he can hang through a primetime playoff game. So 6:40. I feel pretty good about that start.
Boy,
What?
Ravens-Bills is the primetime game Saturday night?
Ravens Bills primetime.
Oh, I will be drinking different, I have a feeling. Good Lord. That has me plastered on a Saturday night written all over it.
What doesn't have you plastered on a Saturday night?
Cleveland Browns, Kansas City Chiefs.
And that's why the Rams and the Packers are first on Saturday, and that's why the Browns and the Chiefs are
Yeah,
first on
the
Sunday.
2 bad games are the early ones.
They
I'm a
don't
big
care.
fan of that. Good for you, NFL.
I don't think the Rams and the Packers is going to be a bad game.
Okay.
It's
Do you remember the last time Jared Goff played outside in under 40-degree weather?
I don't.
Because I do.
I don't
It was in
remember shit like
Pittsburgh,
that.
and he was heinous.
How do you remember shit like that?
Because I don't have a life, and I don't do things outside. See, you fill your brain with all those movies and bullshit.
Right,
I don't do
right.
that. I just, I just watch football. So that's how I know things like that.
No, when I look at it, I see a really good defense going up against a really good offense, and you got a defense that can't stop the run and a running back who's just coming off a 100-yard game. I see that as a way that the LA Rams can take a little advantage against the Green Bay Packers. I'm not saying I like them to win.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
just saying
also-
I like this not to be a blowout.
Yeah, you're underselling the fact that Jared Goff don't like to be called Activia. Holy shit!
Activity.
I love the people that comment on this show so much.
yeah, me too.
Stephen Tout, what's that yogurt Jamie Lee Curtis talks about? I love this so much.
When it's important to be regular.
Yes.
Yeesh.
Oh, why does Facebook hide all the comments that have obscenities in them? Those are my favorite. I have to go
Oh,
back and unhide
no.
them. I have to unhide them.
Do you have the adults or the child settings on?
No.
Do you?
Are you kidding me? If I had the adult filter on, we would have been kicked off about 30 seconds into our first show.
No,
I
I'm saying
think it
on the
took me
comments.
about 45 seconds to say fuck the first time.
Yeah. We got Tom Selleck out there with a reverse mortgage.
Reverse mortgage. Invest in gold.
Cashforgold.com.
Oh my God.
Hack today and you can get this special minted coin and 7 of its brothers for only $9.95.
Buy this bond.
I did notice
Insert it 20
I
years
did
later
notice a
for
lot of that
49
last night. Like, was that only my TV or
I don't watch commercials, so
you don't watch commercials? Well, how do you watch a game live if you don't watch
I pause
commercials?
it, I walk away and do stuff, and then I come
fast
back
forward?
and fast forward. And I stay off Twitter. If you've ever wondered why I'm not on Twitter live during games, there's like 5 exceptions to that. Super Bowl, Daytona 500. There's just a few times that I'm like, all right, I'm going to stomach the commercials. I'm going to watch it live so I can comment. Other than that, I'm probably a solid hour behind you. And if you message me, for the love of God, like if you say something and you screw this up for me, I will fight you to my dying breath.
No, I just felt like watching the Browns Steelers game last night. Like, for some reason, they thought the average, the average viewer demographic was like between their 65 and 87.
Well, I mean, it was the Browns.
because there's a whole lot of hey, these are these new-fangled pots that we've did. Look, they stacked together. There's a whole lot of infomercial shit during that game last night.
Well, I mean, think about it. It did have the Browns in it. The last time they were relevant was in the fucking 50s. So,
That's a good point.
Well, I mean,
if you were,
they did make back-to-back-to-back
if you were,
AFC championship.
if you were a Browns fan as a child, Jim Brown was probably the running back. So, there's not a lot of Browns fans who are like, I remember the glory days of Tim Couch.
And Bernie Kosar. Well, actually,
Bernie
some of
Kosar
them,
might.
Yeah, you could have.
You might have some
Yeah.
Bernie Kosar. There's just not a lot of them that are like, I remember the glory days of
Elvis Gerbach.
William Green. That running back that was terrible.
William. That's one I have no.
He was a
frame of
first-round
reference for
pick.
William Green.
He went to Boston College.
Yeah.
The fact that you know that is just.
He was real fast. He was a lot of fun to play with on Madden. He was, if you breathed on him, he would fumble, but he was very fast.
Peyton Hillis. You remember that guy?
Yeah, you remember when he was on Madden that one time?
He won everybody a league in fantasy.
He did for one time.
Yeah.
One time he won you a league.
1 year, you picked him up.
How
off
was
the
he after that?
And then he made the cover of Madden, got a
And
big
then-
payday, and within 3 games, I think he got benched.
And now he looks like my partner over here.
Oh, does he really?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
large.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, gun show, that went away.
Yeah.
It
He ate that contract away.
Well, I mean, at that point, you really had nothing else to do.
he and Eddie Lacy are currently. By the way, can we do there's like celebrity rehab and celebrity weight loss and all that shit?
Yeah.
Can we do one of those with athletes? Like just former athletes, because I see a lot of them that look like they are 100 pounds over their playing weight.
Okay.
I'm so down. Like Eddie Lacy, and for whatever reason I want Jerry Springer and Stone Cold Steve Austin to host it. Don't ask me why.
Okay.
I don't know why.
That's an interesting partnership.
Uh-huh.
The purveyors of everything that turned this world gross in the 90s.
No.
Stone Cold Steve
The
Austin.
world
and
didn't
Jerry
turn gross
Seinfeld.
until 2009, and we all know it.
That's a myth, and you.
Yeah, the world didn't turn gross until 2009. It didn't get as gross as it is now until about a year and a half ago.
My.
You can draw your own conclusions as to what happened, but I'm not going to draw them for you.
Yeah.
You already drew them for us.
No, I didn't.
And we
No,
can
I
all chuckle inside, going,
We know what he's talking about. We all know.
So you got the Rams and the Packers, Ravens and the Bills, and then the Browns and the Chiefs,
Uh-oh.
Kevin Vick said ring the bell.
Bucks and the
He
Saints.
supplied the bell. He's allowed to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
That bell rings better than my ESPN bell.
Favorite
You will be thoroughly beaten in time.
and then it'll sound like you're.
Yeah. The other one sometimes I hit it.
He hits it too hard. Like, dude, all you gotta do is just
What?
barely,
about Jeremy says
just
ring
barely
the bell
tap the tip,
softly?
dude.
Nothing about him says I'm
The old
ring the bell
gorilla
softly.
hands over here.
Well, see,
Jeez.
there's nothing fun about that. I'm not dainty like that. I want to.
Ring the bell!
Okay, so we don't need these little dinner bells anymore. We need a wrestling bell with a hammer. Just
yes, all the way in. Oh, that's a great idea.
Oh God, I'm sorry I said that.
Oh, that's a phenomenal
I
idea.
apologize, everybody. I should not have.
Give
said
me like
that.
the big bell of those people that play Christmas shit, and I just king shit. Yeah.
Like you're gonna have a hernia. Divisional round though, best game. What's the matchup you're looking forward to most? Is it?
It's Bills Ravens.
It's
It's
Bills
not
Ravens.
close. Yeah. That's the game I'm looking most forward to. The Metamucil Bowl would be too.
Okay. I think I'm biased, obviously. You know my one. But Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills, and I still think that the Rams and the Packers is going to be a decent game. What?
The Steelers haven't been beaten that bad in Heinz Field since The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, Luke.
Oh yeah.
That deserves a slow clap.
That's off, buddy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All right, it's like we've been doing this for an hour now.
Is it
I
time?
mean, everybody's got to be tired of it.
Is it that time? All right, it is that time. We'll be with you this
God
afternoon.
bless all of you in the comments. My God, there's been a ton. I love days like this where the comments are just flowing and it's like a big old family reunion and we're all drunk and talking about that time that Goober got stuck in the water.
Goober.
We'll be with you this afternoon on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. You can hear us everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, the Sports Tank with Jeremy Green. We'll talk more about the NFL wildcard weekend as well as the national championship coming up tonight, Alabama, Ohio State. How will it unfold? We'll talk about it this afternoon. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning right here in the Wicked Weed Studios, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Green. See you 9 a.m. tomorrow.